Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of True Crime with Strategic. We on that as news. We got a big show for you guys today. A lot has been happening. This story is just so salacious. There's so much going on. There's so many facts, so many probative moments that just inundate the channel in my inbox every time I take a step away. But we're going to try our best to cover the most pertinent things. Like I said to you guys, it's always developing and I have to go to work, so I can only do but so much, but I can't do these things without you guys, and you guys are amazing. So first of all, a few things. We got to do some housekeeping things and some safety things, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm a law enforcement officer and I care about people. I care about the safety of people. So we're going to talk about a few things and then we're going to jump into this case, all right? And we might end up changing the thumbnail and the title of this because new information has come out that we want to definitely share with you guys. So we're going to actually lead with this new restraining order that was put out there by Isabella. And we spoke about Isabella, I believe, in the last show, but we didn't want to give all her information out. But now we were able to get the actual court documents. I don't think anybody else has this. People are showing screenshots of one page. We actually have the full court documents, 14 pages. Big thanks to the research crew. Now, that being said, and we're segueing into that, let me first start out by saying, first of all, guys, I am a professional law enforcement officer. Been working in law enforcement for 18 and a half years. I've been doing investigations for 14 of those years, okay? 14 and a half of those years. I can't do nothing on it. In my day job, when I leave here tonight, this week I'm working the night shift. I'm going to get new cases. I'm number one on the catch. That means that when I get to work, the first case that comes in, I have to get it. So I'm going to do all the work on that case and I'm going to know everything about that case. But on these cases, I don't have time to look for all the information. So when you guys see all this information that I'm giving you on this topic, you're getting it because of viewers like you, because you guys are sending me this information. But one of my major sources of information is the research crew. The research crew got us this court document that apparently nobody else has, to my understanding. If somebody else has it, it is what it is. I just didn't see it. The research crew brought this. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you don't mind, if you can, there's a link at the top of the screen. It says, support me at Buy Me a Coffee. Support the research crew. They're the ones that keep this channel going. If you don't mind, you go give them some coffee, $2, $3 or something. Support the research crew. This is not for me. This is for the research crew. They're the ones who's bringing you this crazy information that's helping take the lid off of this case. That's opening the lid off of this case, that's showing what the Haros really did, because we know what the Haros really did. We just got to prove it. All right. Now, that being said, big shout out to the research crew. Thank you so much. Hopefully we start seeing some good support for those guys. Now. This is about public safety. I saw some videos that disturbed me. In those videos, YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers were out there in the Haros community harassing people who live there. This is no shade because I watch a lot of these shows and we've gotten good information from these shows. I'm talking to you as a law enforcement officer because I care. Do not, this is for everybody, whether you are amateur journalist, influencer, whatever you want to call yourself. Do not go on people's property. Do not go out there and infringe on people's property. Do not go out there and engage with people who have every right to feel frustrated because their lives have been turned upside down. They go from living in a quiet town. It's not a perfect town. I'm pretty sure they have their issues, but they go from whatever is their normalcy to now media out there all day long, YouTubers and Instagrammers and TikTokers and Xers all out there all day long. Cops out there all day long, gawkers and just people who just want to see what's going on. That they have every right to feel frustrated. That's why as citizen journalists, we have to be respectful. We have to actually create our own level of professionalism. Journalists have their level of professionalism. Of course, law enforcement officers, we have our professionalism. We need to have our own form of professionalism as citizen journalists when we go out there into the world. And the reason why I say this is not because I'm trying to be a hater or I'm trying to be mean. I don't want no YouTube beef. I don't want nobody coming on their channel saying, who is this guy to talk? I'm talking to you as somebody. You pay me because we all get federal dollars. You pay me to care about you because I'm a law enforcement officer. Every person in this country pays me because every single law enforcement agency in this country gets federal tax dollars. I'm telling you, as a professional, you may encounter the wrong person and then you might end up being the news. So please be safe out there because you don't know these people. You don't know what frustrations they're dealing with. You don't know what mental health they're dealing with. Do not engage people negatively. They have every right to feel frustrated. Simply say, hey, I'm sorry, my bad, and keep it moving before you become the news. That's Big Bro talking to you. You take for whatever you want. You throw the rest away. All right, that being said, let's get into the chat, see how you people are doing, and then let's jump into this case. Please hit that like button. We have almost 500 people watching right now, but only 146 likes. Do appreciate if you guys would support the channel. We have let's see here. Let's see what the few people showing love, and I want to definitely acknowledge them. So first of all, Dr. Cataclysm celebrating 24 months. 24 months as a member. He says 2 years of monetization because I was monetized before and I was covering some crazy cases and then YouTube demonetized me. So I was demonetized for quite a while till I finally got let back into the fold of the family of monetization. So he's been with me way longer than 2 years, Dr. Cataclysm. He's been with me for like maybe 3 or 4 years. I think 4 years he's been with me. But we've only been monetized for 2 years, so we've been behaving ourselves because Strategic Eyes used to be real raw, ladies and gentlemen. I think you guys could tell from my personality I'm kind of raw. But anyway, big shout out to Dr. Cataclysm. We appreciate you. Italian Princess with a $5 super says, hit the like button. No truer words could have been spoken than the Italian Princess. Please hit the like button. Dr. Cataclysm came back with 5 gift memberships. So if you got those gift memberships, please make sure you show some love. Jamie Pease is celebrating 10 months as a White Shield member. Thank you. She says, love you, Strategic and fam. I'm honored to be a part of this amazing community. We're honored to have you, Jamie Pease. And lastly, Fiona M1923 is now a patrol member. Thank you so much. So let's get into this, guys. Wow. What a day, what a day, what a day. We got a lot of video to show you guys. We have the video allegedly taken from that clothing store next door to the Big Five that is showing the white car. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, so we're going to watch it together. That one was brought to you by the Ahmed guy, the guy who's out there, boots on the ground, kind of traversing this whole area and getting good video, doing his due diligence. We appreciate the work that he's doing, but we're definitely going to showcase that. All right, so let me get over here, get everything together. All right, so first of all, yesterday we talked about Isabella Gonzalez, and Isabella is the ex-wife. I think she's the first wife of our resident monster, Jake Haro. And like we said yesterday, oh, sorry. That's no good. An alarm going off. My apologies. And as we spoke about yesterday, Strategic Eyes cares not. Well, I do care, but hear me out. I care not whether he had anything to do with the disappearance and possible unaliving of Emmanuel as per whether he's a monster or not. I know it's kind of convoluted how I said that. He's still a monster to me. Regardless of whether it was just Rebecca who did something to baby Haro, some mystery person that we don't believe exists that took baby Haro, or my theory, which is that Jake did something to baby Haro and Rebecca's just covering for him. Regardless of what the scenario is, Jake is still a monster because we know what Jake did to that beautiful little girl of his. We know what he did. We know what he did. What's her name now? Her name is Promise. Her new name is Promise. We know what he did to Promise. So now there was rumors that he had a son and he had hurt that son as well. And we kind of like have now figured out the amount of children that this guy actually has. Because even though we heard 5, it was a little bit of a mystery. Now we kind of know exactly what's going on. So we have the first wife, which is Isabella. He had one son with Isabella that we know of. And that son is probably between 10 and 12 years old. And that was the son at the football game, ladies and gentlemen. That was the son at the football game. The second wife is Vanessa Haro. And Vanessa's the one that had multiple DWIs. The first child was born with fetal alcohol poisoning, and that was a boy. And then the second child was the girl, whose name is now Promise. She was born perfectly normal until Jake literally almost beat her to death. And from Jake almost beating her to death, she now has 3% of her brain function, and she was adopted by her cousin, who's now her mommy, because the cousin's the only one who's willing to take care of her. God bless that cousin's soul. And her husband. Two beautiful people. Then, so that's 3 kids we got right there so far. Then comes Rebecca, 10 years older than him, obviously has some self-esteem issues, I believe may have got into drugs, looks remarkably different than she did 2 years ago. I don't know if that's stress or abuse or drugs, I don't know. But she gave him 2 kids. She gave him a 2-year-old girl, by all accounts, that looks healthy. It has been taken away by Child Protective Services. That's confirmed. And Emmanuel Haro, who we all believe to no longer be with us. That's 5 kids that Jake has. Jake, a.k.a. the Snake. I don't know. I used to like Jake the Snake in wrestling. Maybe I shouldn't even make them synonymous with each other. One is an entertaining actor. The other one is a monster. All right, so let's read over this. Superior Court of California, County of Riverside. Parties, relationship status, represented by Jake Mitchell, petitioner. The child, pro se. Respondent, Isabella, pro se. Proposed restraint, Jake. Let's keep going. Oh, so this is okay, and there's an update. So the update is on this one, so let's keep going. This is good. So it's going to show us like the timeline, because this is going to how it started and how it ended. How it ended is Isabella's asking for a restraining order on 8/19/2025. Let me see if I have a highlighter here. Make it easier for you guys. So this is the most recent, and this is when it started. Oh, okay. I guess you got to do this every time. Oh, boy, that's no good. No, I don't want that. You scare me. You scare me. It's crazy. All right, let's keep going. Can't use a highlighter. I suck. Let's keep going. All right. So, date and action. On 5/12/2016, the petition was filed and the summons was issued. Let's keep going. The date of the marriage was 3/3/2014. This is the marriage with Isabella Gonzalez. The date of the separation is 5/1/2016. I gotta drink the energy drink because you guys know I don't get sleep. That's not a part of my vocabulary. Worked the night shift last night, got home around 3 a.m., went to bed. Son woke me up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, talking about come play with me. We ended up falling asleep together for like an hour, and then I came and started working on the show, getting prepped for the show. It's crazy. Life is crazy. All right, let's keep going. Family law petition and party information entered. 5/12/2016, failure to bring case to trial, judgment on 5/11/21 at 8 p.m. Let's keep going. So this is basically like, did it have proof of service, stuff like that, disillusion with trial, summons filed, the declaration of residence. This is like every single step of the way. So some of it's probative, some of it's not. Let's keep going. On 5/12/2016, request for order protection, a request for order for child custody, visitation, child support, and spousal support filed on 5/12/2016 by Jake Mitchell. So Jake is the one who's asking for this stuff in this one. Let's keep going. 5/16. So it looks like initially it's Jake who's taking all of the action. And we'll see that Jake is pretty savvy with this stuff. Jake allegedly tried to sue the hospital that Promise was at, kind of blaming the hospital, if I'm not mistaken. I'm kind of paraphrasing from what I heard and what I read, blaming the hospital for what happened to his daughter as though he's not the one who did it. He ended up pleading guilty for doing it. But he tried to sue the hospital, but I heard it was dismissed. He also has filed multiple workers' compensation claims so he could collect workman's comp and not actually work. So this guy is kind of like, in my opinion, he's a scammer, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I have no evidence to back it up. I'm just telling you what I feel, right? It's my opinion. He's a scammer. Let's keep going. But he knows how to use the court system. He knows how to use these government agencies to his benefit. Let's keep going. All right. So 7/5/2016. Another hearing request for the child custody and visitation, all that good stuff. At 11:47, following proceedings were held. Jake Mitchell Haro, President Court pro per, Isabella Rebecca Gonzalez. What's up with the Rebecca? Because he ended up getting with a Rebecca. Isabella's middle name was Rebecca. Interesting. Isabella Rebecca Gonzalez, President of Court. Both parties sworn and examined. Issues discussed with the court. Court makes the following orders. Here's the orders of the court. Stipulation agreement pursuant to referral to child custody. Recommending counseling regarding custody and visitation order filed. This court has jurisdiction to make child custody orders in this case under the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act, Family Law Code 3400. Let's see if they do what the visitation is. Okay. It doesn't look like. One thing I'm noticing from these California minutes is they don't put any narratives in there, which sucks. Really does. Other states will put narratives in there, so you get like a gist of what was discussed and what the order is. They just basically say what they're there for, and then that's it. They're not giving you much information. I mean, I like transparency, so I'd hope that California would adopt more transparency. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to talk crap about Cali. I'm just saying they need more transparency. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So on 3/16/2017, Isabella actually got herself an attorney, which is good. Let's keep going. There's a lot of counseling that was recommended for these two, for the mother and the father. Let's keep going. Okay, Isabella Gonzalez, President Court, stipulation agreement pursuant to referral to child custody, recommending counseling regarding custody and visitation ordered filed. Okay, so once again, same deal. Okay. So who put in this order for visitation? Notice of case reassignment to Department on Dissolution with Children of Jake Mitchell Haro. Hearing request for order change, child custody visitation. This is 2019. I mean, this is a funny thing. It's always like the baby beaters that want access to the children the most. It's like this guy clearly hurts children, but yet he wants access to his children. Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's keep going. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Fix that in a second. Visitation awarded to Jake Mitchell Haro as follows. Frequent and liberal supervised visits. Visits to be supervised by the mother or a third party agreed upon between the parties. This court has jurisdiction to make child custody orders in this case. So they gave him frequent supervised visits. I wonder why that is, ladies and gentlemen. Frequent supervised visits. All right, that's what they gave him when? In 2019. Let's see what else we got. All right, visitation awarded to Jake Mitchell Haro as follows. Professionally, so earlier in 2019, he got frequent supervised visits, right? By the mother and somebody else. Then in March of 2019, they then changed it to professionally supervised visits with the minor child. 1 time per week, 2 to 4 hours. So remember, it was frequent before that. Frequent. It's kind of like you guys work it out, but you got to have supervised visits. But then it got changed to professionally supervised visits 1 time per week, 2 to 4 hours. I wonder why they changed that. Did the court started noticing that he was dangerous? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. They're not as transparent as they should be in these court documents in California, but they are giving us some tidbits that even the court is starting to notice that this guy is dangerous. He's dangerous. Let's keep going. We're parsing through it, but we're getting there. We're getting truth in here. Let's keep going. So now we get down to 2021. Let's see what's going on. So you got a domestic violence restraining order on Jake Mitchell filed by Isabella in 2025. This is the newest one here, but let me go back up here to 2019. Okay, non-proof of service, Okay, so here we go. So this is the most recent stuff here. DVTRO on domestic violence with children, filed by Isabella Rebecca Gonzalez. Filed by Isabella Rebecca Gonzalez. Notice of court hearing. Filed by Isabella. Proposed restraining order after hearing. Filed by Isabella. Permanent restraining order 9/9/2025. So that's going to be their next court hearing, which is going to be at 8:30 a.m. That's what we're working with. Bananas. Absolutely bananas. Let's keep going. So the boy's name is Eli, by the way. I want to go ahead to Ashley Banfield, who actually is going to interview. I'm going to step away for a quick second so I can get something, but I'll be right back in 30 seconds. I don't like playing people's videos, and I'm not there actually reacting to it, but I do have to step away. It's a little bit of an emergency. So Ashley Banfield is going to talk to the cousin who adopted the children, who adopted Promise, the baby who was almost killed by Jake Haro. Let's listen to us. I want to watch this too. I'll be right back.
7-month-old baby boy named Emmanuel Haro, and the details that we've just learned about the baby's father and his criminal past, absolutely hair-raising. The number of children that have been moved out of the Haro home into the custody of others is nothing short of alarming. Let me take you back for a moment. Baby Emmanuel was reported missing last Thursday. His mother, Rebecca Haro, claimed that a stranger approached her from behind, said, "Hola," and then knocked her unconscious. She says when she woke up, baby Emmanuel was gone, right there in the parking lot, gone. But according to investigators, Rebecca's story didn't add up all the way. Rebecca refused a lie detector test, and both she and her husband have stopped cooperating with the police, the authorities say. To be clear, there have been no charges filed against Jake or Rebecca Haro, and Jake's attorney insisted right here on this show last night that his client, Jake Haro, is cooperating, despite that statement from the police suggesting otherwise. Tonight it is Jake's past, however, that is becoming a lot more worrisome. Yesterday we learned about his felony child cruelty conviction, the one that put him in jail for 6 months back in 2023. Both Jake and his ex-wife Vanessa Avila pleaded guilty to the charges.
Mind you, 6 months was not enough. 6 months was a mockery of our justice system, ladies and gentlemen. We saw what he did to that baby. We 1000% saw what he did to that baby. Those pictures were so cruel that YouTube actually demonetized that video for like 12 hours until it was manually reviewed, and then they approved it. That was horrible. 6 months was a mockery of our law. Let's keep going.
And tonight we have learned that crime was committed against his own 10-week-old baby girl, a child who survived but suffered horrendous lifelong injuries. We've got photos of the child, and I should tell you that the family has given us permission to show those photos, likely as a warning about Jake Haro. But I do want to tell you this. When we show you those photos, they are quite disturbing, so fair warning in advance. Here is the little girl in her hospital bed, 10 weeks old. She is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Haro home, and she was...
I don't know if I'm weird, but even in this state, look how cute that little baby is. Why would you want to hurt a little baby? Look at the state of this baby, and you can still see how beautiful and cute and you just want to hold her. You just want to love her, nurture her. But yet there are people that exist in this world who look at her as a nuisance, who look at her as an obstacle, who look at her as something to get rid of, something to abuse, something to take your anger out of. Your life sucks. You hate your life, and so you take it out on her. Instead of doing something about your life, instead of getting therapy, instead of educating yourself, instead of trying harder, working harder, becoming one with God, instead of doing the things that make you a better human and give you a better quality of life, making peace with your exes, you decide to take your anger out on this precious gem of a human being. Unbelievable. Let's keep going.
Adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her. Her new name is Promise Faith. According to the cousin, Promise is now 7 years old, but take a look at this picture. The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation.
Unbelievable. Strangulation.
We are told from this cousin that Promise has...
We didn't even know that. That wasn't in the article that we read. Strangulation. He strangled a 10-week-old baby. And California, and listen, this is not about politics. Florida is a Republican state, and I've so pissed off with Florida with the Stephen Stearns situation. We will be talking about updates on Stephen Stearns this weekend. Plunder dropped a crazy video of Stephen Stearns' mother on body-worn camera. Plus, there's updates on the Drummond case people are hitting me up about, where Drummond actually came on, and this is a totally separate case, this Drummond case, and he's talking to a reporter about being an informant and all that. So we're going to go through all that stuff on the weekend when I get a day off. I'll do like 3 shows in one day, and we'll talk about all these other things other than this story, even though this story is important and is worth covering. That's why we're covering it. It's not about politics. It's just about misguided laws or misguided execution of laws. It doesn't matter who's your governor and who you vote for. It's about humanity. California failed Emmanuel Haro just like Florida failed the legacy of Madeline Soto. That's all it's about. It's not, so let's not turn this into political ideology. Let's come together as Americans and as fellow human beings and say we want a change. We want a change. We're not talking about immigration. We're not talking about welfare. We're not talking about unemployment. We're not talking about LGBTQIA, which I'm a big supporter of, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. I love my LGBTQ community and my friends and who are part of that community. It's about justice for children. That's all we're doing here. We're a voice for the voices. We're a voice for children. That's it. So leave your politics at the door and open your eyes. California failed Emmanuel Haro. California failed Promise, who's on our screen right now. They gave him 6 months in county jail for strangling a baby. How people can't see this, I don't know. It pains me in my comment section when I see grown adults not seeing the big picture. They talking to me about Kamala Harris. Oh, what? I don't know about that stuff. I'm here for this baby. Just because it's California and I say as a creator that they failed this child. You can't say that government failed this child without people bringing in politics. A person who strangles a baby should not get 6 months in prison. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about that? 6 months in prison. Listen, let's go back and listen to what Ashley Banfield had to say about this child one more time. Listen to what she has to say about the quality of life of this child. And you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong. Let's do a poll. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Haro home, and she was adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her. Her new name is Promise Faith. According to the cousin, Promise is now 7 years old, but take a look at this picture. The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation. We are told from this cousin that Promise has 3% brain function, that Promise needs a feeding tube, and that Promise will need round-the-clock care for the rest of her life. So let's just contemplate this as you see these pictures. Jake Haro, who beat this child, received 6 months.
All right, real quick. I said something that was wrong. I was wrong about something when I first covered this, that 3:30 a.m. show. That was a wild show. I was tired and you guys was rocking out with me. I think we had like 2,000 people in the chat at 3:30 in the morning Eastern time. I said that she can't even smile anymore, and I was wrong. Because look at that beautiful smile on Promise. Look at that beautiful smile on Promise. Promise doesn't care. She's a survivor. She's going to live. That's a beautiful smile. So I was wrong, and I apologize for that. You have a very beautiful smile, Promise, and you are capable of smiling. And I see it with my own eyes. Let's keep going.
In jail and probation afterwards. The same cousin who adopted this little girl, Promise, also took in Jake's oldest son, who she says was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. That child was named after his father, Jake, but the cousin also renamed the little boy. His new name is Carlos. And now this same cousin who has taken in 2 of Jake Haro's children, one that Jake Haro beat into a lifelong condition, another that was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Now this cousin is caring for a 3rd child removed from the Haro home just this week. A 2-year-old child was taken out of Jake and Rebecca's care. I'm joined now by true crime digital creator Abby Escobar, who spoke directly with this cousin who has been caring for these children. Abby uncovered these.
All right, great job, Abby. And we did use her information, so I'm so happy that she was able to get that information and interview that cousin. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. We'll end the poll here. Apparently, 86% of you do not believe that I'm wrong for being upset that Jake only got 6 months in prison for strangling and permanently disabling a baby, a 10-week-old baby. Unfortunately, humanity never fails to surprise us. 14% of you believe that I am wrong for that, and that it's okay for a person that beats children to get 6 months in prison and permanently disable them. But guess what? We're not going to shame you. That's what makes this country great, the diversity in opinion. So it is what it is. That's your opinion. It is what it is. We respect your opinion, but respectfully, I disagree. And respectfully, I probably would never have lunch or dinner with you anyway. We probably would never cross paths because we have such different points of view in this world. But I'm sorry. I fight for children. I fight for children in real life. I'm not an activist. I'm a detective. I get people who abuse children and adults because I investigate both. And in some cases, I send them to prison for the rest of their life. So maybe I have a different point of view than you because I have skin in the game. I'm not just an observer on YouTube. This is real life for me. I've met with people who have been hurt for the rest of their life, traumatized by monsters. And I've spoken to monsters face to face. And I will never waver in my belief that when you hurt children, you need to pay for it with the rest of your life. I'm sorry. I will never be apologetic for fighting for the voiceless. Let's keep going.
Incredible details. First and foremost, I don't even know what the word is. Apoplectic, devastated, angry, all of the above. That these 3 kids have had to be moved out of the Haro home, and yet the Haros still had children living there. Let's just start right there, Abby. Child cruelty, a prison sentence, and this little child was left with lifelong incapacities.
So just real quick, you know, people said, do you read the chat? I'm trying to. There's a lot of people in that chat. People are saying that some of them read it wrong and voted incorrectly. That's okay. That's okay too. All right. That's okay. I'm from New York. I got a New York education. Maybe I wrote it like a dinosaur. It is what it is. But you know that even so, when maybe a large proportion of people voted wrong and they actually wanted to say that it's okay to be upset, there still will be a small percentage of people, whether they're trolling or not, who'll be like, I don't care. You know, he can get 6 months. It's okay with that. It is what it is. Let's keep going. Let's move on though.
How is it that they still had kids?
I don't get it. It is such a huge injustice. I mean, they practically killed that child, and here they are just living their lives like nothing even happened. How is that fair?
Well, and it's shocking to think that there were 2 other kids at least. And I don't know if there are more, but Jake Haro Jr., renamed Carlos, and now this 2-year-old baby, not pictured on your screen. This is baby Promise, who's now 7, but another baby that's 2 years old that has been moved into the cousin's care, and of course, baby Emmanuel. How is it that the authorities allowed children to live in this home? Are we getting any answers?
Yeah, you would think that any children they had would have immediately been taken by CPS just because of the history.
Yes.
But no, they were allowed to remarry,
it's crazy,
have more children, and nothing happened.
Yes. Didn't I tell you guys that? I don't live in California, so I don't know how they do business out there. Every state is different. But I told you guys, with this guy's history, he would have never been able to father. He would be able to father children. We're not doing eugenics here in New York where we're going to like stop you from being able to procreate. But every time he'd have a child, it would automatically have an order that he's not able to be with that child. And if the wife or the woman that he had a child with has similar history as him, they would go into the hospital, and as soon as the baby is pushed out of her body, they would take the baby. They wouldn't even allow her to hold the baby, because when you hold the baby, you create a bond with the baby. They wouldn't even allow her to hold the baby. They would just immediately take the baby as soon as she gives birth and take the baby to adoption. So I don't know what happened here. Like, this guy's listen, Vanessa pled guilty to child cruelty, but a lower charge on a misdemeanor level. There's a possibility she would be able to have more children because it was a misdemeanor. Jake pled guilty to the felony. So if Jake is saying, oh, I'm innocent, I didn't do it, Vanessa did it, which is what he tried to do, they didn't believe him. And even he pled guilty to the felony, ladies and gentlemen. So Jake should not be able to be around children. It's almost like, and I'm not saying he is absolutely not. But what I'm saying is just an example. It's almost like Jake was convicted of being a chomo, and then they allowed him to live in a house full of children. He's not. He is not a chomo, lady. I'm just giving you as an example. He's not a chomo, but it's almost like he was a chomo, and Cali still allowed him to live with children when you're not supposed to. Well, Jake is almost the same thing, because a chomo abuses kids and he abuses kids, but he just physically does it and leaves them in vegetables where they can't talk or speak or move anymore. And yet California was just willy-nilly allowing him to make more children and live with children. Doesn't make sense. I'm surprised that the 2-year-old that was removed is alive. I'm surprised she's not brain dead because that's his MO. His MO is beating children. That's what he does. Where's the supervision in Cali? I don't know. And this guy's been involved with the courts nonstop since this stuff happened to Baby Promise. He's been in trouble. He's got probation violations. He's on probation. He's on parole, all these different things. So there are people who are visiting the home, people who are in contact with the home. It's not like this guy moved off into the sunset and just relocated in the middle of the desert and nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew where he was. He's living off the grid. Not the case. Not the case. The guy is going back and forth to family court. We saw that, right? Look at this. This is evidence. Back and forth to family court the whole time. The situation that happened with Isabella was in, 2021? He's been going back and forth to court. I mean, not Isabella, but the things that happened with Vanessa was 2021. He's been going back and forth to court with Isabella since 2015. Let's go up. 2016. So they know who he is. He's involved with the court since 2016. He's doing criminal cases in 2021. Nobody's saying to themselves like, hey, this guy's a danger to children. How about we restrict his ability to be with the kids? Let's keep going, man. This is a total failure. When we find Baby Haro, we lay him to rest, and we criminally charge the people who are involved with hurting him, because we know he's gone. There needs to be an up and down review of the Child Protective Services and the family court system in this part of California to make sure this doesn't happen again. This is crazy.
One of the other things, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this little girl has to fight every day just to stay alive. And they're out like nothing.
Nothing.
It's just
and I'll
not
tell
fair.
you, it's hard to tell from some of the pictures we're showing. It's hard to tell, but Promise, again, who's now about 7, has some of the same facial features as her little brother, Emmanuel.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people have wondered, was Emmanuel beaten the same way that Promise was beaten so as to have rendered him with those same facial features? Do you know anything about that?
So I don't, but I've been talking about this on my TikTok and my Facebook, and there have been a lot of comments saying things like that. People noticing the similarities.
Right.
It really has to make you wonder.
Listen, I got tons of nurses. For some reason, I got a lot of nurses that watch the show. Big shout out to all the nurses out there. We got nurses in the family, so we got much love for our nurses. All right. A lot of professionals, a lot of Child Protective Services professionals in the chat who have seen these things before. We have a lot of law enforcement like myself who've dealt with these things before. We're all professionals. We're all saying the same thing. Jake clearly looks like he was a victim of shaken baby syndrome. There's brain damage in Jake. People, they wanted us to believe that he had cerebral palsy and all these different things. You got people just throwing stuff out their booty holes like they did a physical examination of Jake yesterday. No. We saw the earlier pictures of Jake. He was a happy, vibrant baby. He was a happy, vibrant baby. Hands reaching to the sky. Baby's hands is always reaching to the sky. Smiling, kicking, reaching to the sky. We saw it with our own eyes. And then the recent pictures, Jake looks like he's not there. Excuse me. Well, Jake is never there. Sorry. Emmanuel. My apologies. Emmanuel. You guys know, remember, there's no script on this show. It's all at the top of your head. You're going to misspeak sometimes because there's no script on this show. Emmanuel looks vibrant. Emmanuel is reaching for the sky. Emmanuel is smiling. Emmanuel is kicking. And then in these recent photos, Emmanuel's not there. Emmanuel's not there. Emmanuel is missing before he's even missing, if you know what I mean. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Before he was even missing, he's missing. Look into his eyes and he's not there. And his eyes also look like the classic signs of somebody, or rather a baby, who has experienced shaken baby syndrome and has brain damage. I told you guys my theory, and I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Probably not the last time. I don't think that there was a singular event that happened a few days or a few weeks ago that resulted in the loss of baby Haro's life. I don't think so. I think this child experienced cumulative abuse. Cumulative abuse that resulted in him probably quietly passing away. Why do I say that? Because baby Promise was going to quietly pass away, but mommy Vanessa said, yo, something's wrong. We went too far. We got to go to the hospital. And then they went to the hospital, and then they discovered all these things, and they brought that baby back from the brink to where we now see 7-year-old Promise, who can't move, can't talk, can't barely breathe on her own, can't swallow on her own, has 3% brain function. It happened again. History repeated itself with Emmanuel. But this time, they didn't take him to the hospital because they know what happened last time they went to the hospital. Jake knows what happened the last time he went to the hospital. The last time he went to the hospital, he ended up getting 6 months in jail, which is a sweetheart deal, by the way. Sweetheart deal. I mean, the whole country's watching right now. If you want to do what Jake does, go move to California. You get 6 months. Because babies' lives don't matter. You know, you got all these different groups out there. Black lives matter. White lives matter. Everybody's life matter. But for some reason in this country, babies' lives don't matter. Babies' lives don't matter? Because apparently, if you do what was done to baby Promise, you get 6 months. Work release and a support group. You got to go to baby abuse classes in a support group where you sit around in a circle with a whole bunch of other baby beaters, and then you just got to say, hey, my name is Jack and I abuse babies. And they clap for you. That's crazy. I don't think that he went batshit crazy and did something horrible to baby Emmanuel on the specific date that he finally went missing. I think it's cumulative. I think his little body couldn't take it anymore and he passed. And now there are rumors and allegations running around that Rebecca was observed at a hardware store buying a hacksaw. I can't confirm that. That's internet rumors. Few days before, she was out there buying a hacksaw, allegedly. Let's keep going. Back to Banfield.
All of it is just sort of unbelievable that these kids still lived in the home after this little child Promise was rendered in this condition from the beating she received from her father, according to the cousin. Let's talk about the cousin, Vanessa Avila's cousin. And let's remember, Rebecca Haro is the woman who is claiming that her baby Emmanuel was taken from her when she was hit over the head. Her husband, Jake, was married to another woman, a woman named Vanessa Avila. She also pleaded guilty to the beating of baby Promise. Why is it that this cousin feels it's so important to get this story out and to get those pictures out?
Well, I think that she feels that justice wasn't served the first time, which, I mean, it obviously wasn't. But she hasn't told me directly, but she has made comments to the point of, if justice would have been served the first time, then this wouldn't have happened to my children. So she's personally affected by this. Cousin,
does this cousin of Vanessa Avila believe the story that the Haros are telling on TV in this clip right here, where she says, I was hit in the head, I woke up, the baby was gone, please help me find the baby? The cousin doesn't believe it. What has she told you?
Absolutely not. excuse me. She said that when she first heard the news story, it just broke her to pieces. She immediately had a feeling, as I feel most people have. I mean, the story just doesn't really make
We didn't believe
much
it.
sense.
We didn't believe it.
The police have said it doesn't make sense. They put out a statement that her stories don't add up and that they believe foul play is possible. They've taken cadaver dogs to the Haro home. There are reports that there were some kind of digging activity.
Look, we try and separate ourselves from the animal kingdom too much simply because we're so intelligent, right? We have so much awareness of ourselves. But listen, we're animals. And if you look in the animal kingdom, animals have senses where they could figure things out, you know? They could feel when a predator is nearby. They can sense that tiger that's in the bushes that's been evolved to hide in the plains where you can't tell the difference between the tall grass and the tiger, yet the elk and the deer and the antelope, they can sense that tiger's there. You know, they can sense fear. A dog can sense when you're afraid of it. You come up to the big dog that's barking, you say, "You get down, boy, you better stop that." You see that dog, that big dog that could tear you to pieces, like, "Oh, okay, all right. You the alpha male. You the biggest bird," like my son says. There's like this song on YouTube where the guy says, "I'm the biggest bird," and my son running around calling himself the biggest bird, and he fights me or whatever. Why am I talking about that? I don't know. I just ran upstairs to go handle some business. He's like, "Dad, I'm the biggest bird." When he says that, he wants me to come fight him, and then we wrestle, and we see who the biggest bird is. Whatever, back to the story. I'm sorry. Animals can sense this stuff. They can sense it. We are blessed with subconscious powers to determine when people are being genuine with us and when they're lying to us. There's certain professions where they teach you to hone that skill, like in law enforcement. They give us tons of classes on how to detect deception and how to tell when somebody's being genuine with us and when they're lying to us. And we use those skills. I have those skills. I've been taught those skills. I use those skills on a daily basis, but we all have those skills. So when we heard this story, it spoke to our subconscious, and we knew that it was bullcrap. We knew that it was trash. Oh, hell no. There's no way you can hear this lady's story and think to yourself, "Oh, yep, that happened, guys. Let's go out there and find that mystery man." We knew right out the gate that it was bullcrap. In a second, we're going to look at the video, but let's let Ashley Banfield finish.
At the Haro home as well. In the meantime, just knowing now about this history, about these 3 other children now living in Vanessa Avala's cousin's care, how are those children now? How is this cousin, and I understand she wants to remain nameless, she's also putting out a plea to everyone, please stop. Don't come to my children's school. Reporters showed up at her children's school. I mean, how are they managing through all of this?
The kids, they're wonderful. The cousin has provided these kids with such an amazing life. She and her husband, they love them. They take wonderful care of them. The children are happy and they're well.
I mean, Promise has to have round-the-clock care and a feeding tube. She's unable to feed because of the strangulation, reportedly. It's just, that is an enormous amount of work that they are putting into the care of this poor child. I just don't understand how it only yielded 6 months and also yielded a father who was allowed to come out and still have 3 children in his home. That's the part I don't understand. Are there any other details that this cousin shared?
Well, she said that Promise, they were told that they didn't think she would even live a week after this happened, but they have done everything they can for this little girl to keep her going. You know, she's got the tracheostomy tube. She has to be suctioned frequently so she doesn't choke on her own mucus.
Jesus.
The feeding tube. She can't walk. She can't talk. She's blind.
Think about that, though. Like, stuff like that is like, it's round the clock. You got to wake up in the middle of the night. That's a full-time job. That's why a lot of times these folks will leave their jobs and they'll just collect disability and stuff like that to survive, because it's like you at 4 a.m, like that mucus is building up all day long. It's not like, oh, I'm going to clear your throat at 9 p.m. and you're good for the rest of the night. No, you know, that mucus is going to build up again at 2 a.m. You got to clear it out. You know, at 6 a.m, you got to clear it out. You're getting up all night, round the clock, for decades. because with modern medicine, this beautiful angel can live for decades. She will, under good care, become an adult in that chair. In that chair. Of course, he'll get upgraded to a big person chair, but she's going to live like that for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. And there's going to be somebody who has to take care of her that entire time. And it's all because of Jake. Somebody in the chat says they listen to me in the airport. We about to join the Mile High Club. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. There's so many people from different places, different backgrounds, different locations who are watching the show. We are definitely, truly heartened by that. And I just want to ask you guys one last time to please hit that like button. We're trying to grow to 100,000 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you don't know what I'm about, I'm an active duty detective. Somebody gave me a really good way of saying this. I can't say what type of detective I am because YouTube does not like the words that are associated with my niche investigative skill set. But they said you should say it like this, strategic. So I'll say it like this. I'm the type of detective that you would see on Law and Order Special Victims. So I hope that answers your question. That's the type of investigations that I conduct, the type that you'd see on Law and Order Special Victims. So I'm an active duty detective, and I'm trying to give a voice to the voiceless on my time off. So please, if you could hit us with that like button and subscribe, we would appreciate it so we could get to 100,000 subscribers, which we're close to. We're like 7,000 away. It's insane. So thank you so much for showing love to the channel. And let's get back into this.
It's just horrible, but I mean, she said that Promise is her miracle baby, and really she is. It's amazing that she survived that. 10 weeks old.
It is, but just tragic that she was, condemned to a life like this because of the acts of her father.
Absolutely.
If all of the cousins reporting, is accurate.
Yeah. And then he gets to remarry and have more kids, and there's no intervention. There's no concern. And now a 7-month-old baby is gone. I just feel like more should have been done.
Here we have this.
We got Yupaica in the building, people watching from the local area. We appreciate you guys for joining us.
This report at 10 weeks old. I mean, at 10 weeks old, a newborn is so helpless and so tiny and can do so little to upset us, except, create just the utmost joy to know that anyone was capable of creating that much damage to a 10-week-old. I dare say I am very concerned about baby Emmanuel and what might have happened to baby Emmanuel, but it's starting to look more and more suspicious, these pleas for help to find baby Emmanuel. Abby, thank you for your reporting. Break in to the show if you learn more throughout the. I know this is all
right. So big shout out to Ashley Banfield and to Blabby for covering this and getting us this very, very important information. All right. Let's go to the next one. Wow. You know what? There's so much to cover here. You know what? I want to, because we're running out of time because I have to get ready to go to work soon. So let's go to all these videos are probative, man. Like there's not one thing that I have here that's not instrumental in us figuring out this case, but I can only do but so much. So we're going to go now to the video by Ahmed Balazzo. He got this video. This is from the store next door, the Bada store. This is supposedly going to show the white truck come up. We can't I have not been able to independently verify this. This is all alleged. All right. I don't know if this is specifically the white truck that Rebecca was driving, but this is what they're saying it is. All right. That's what they're saying it is. So allegedly, let's check this out. On the terror. What does on the terror mean? Does that mean on earth or something? What is tierra? I should just ask the Google, but I'll ask you guys instead. Let's keep going. All right, so I might have to pause this because a lot of times these songs are copyrighted, which sucks. Especially when you listen on other platforms, you're allowed to play it on those platforms, but not on YouTube. So we can't have any music. Somebody in the chat, but we'll pay attention. But I'm gonna have to talk because we can't have the music being played. So somebody in the chat says, I think they said that somebody is at their probation office. They didn't say the name, so I don't know if it's Jake who's at the probation office. But, you know, that's just what they're saying. I can't verify that. But, I mean, I'd expect him to be at probation at some point. So I didn't see her get out of the car. Does it make any sense to you guys? We just saw the car come, and then we saw the car pull away. So I don't really know what just happened there. But it's now out of frame now. Now it looks like she's pacing around. Is that her? So the car pulled away, and then I saw a person pacing over here where my cursor is pointing. You guys can see that. And then gone. This is interesting. I don't know how probative this is, to be honest with you. It does have its point to make. If you can verify that that's her Jeep or her SUV, then it'll at least show her go there and back. But the footage is not too good. It's very grainy, which sucks because you would imagine that a retail establishment would invest more in their video surveillance. But once again, you know, who are we to judge? So I don't. This is not the bombshell video that we were expecting to see, that people were kind of like hyping it up to be. But it's something, and it definitely plays a part in this investigation. So we do appreciate actually having the opportunity. This is another video. I'm kind of gonna fly through this a little bit because
It's a Jet2 holiday.
All right, so that's her coming out of a lawyer's conference room.
Nothing.
The thing is, though, what made me really startled about watching this very short video is that her black eye looks much more prominent than it did in the other videos that we were seeing. You guys tell me, what do you think?
And right now, you range. Nothing.
Look at her black eye. Does it look more prominent to you guys? It definitely looks more pronounced, as though maybe she got punched again in her eye more recently. Remember, these abusers don't stop abusing. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I have no information of it, but I'm just saying these abusers don't stop abusing. They don't. All right, so these guys actually went to court. I think they went to court for the whole custody thing. I just want to make sure that I have everything, possible sighting. I wanted to definitely update you guys on this one, too. This is the possible sighting in Kern County. Let's listen to what the news has to say about that.
Well, there are new details with another local case now making national headlines, many asking, where is baby Emmanuel?
Tomorrow marks 1 week since that child's mother claimed she was attacked in a parking lot and her child taken. Investigators said there are inconsistencies in her story, though. Now, new this morning, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says it is aware of a possible sighting of Emmanuel in Kern County. We're also now learning the vehicle of the child's father, Jake Haro, was seized by investigators, and he turned over his cell phone. His attorney issued a statement last night saying Jake Haro is fully cooperating with law enforcement and investigators.
And all this happening as a massive fire breaks out at a home on the same block as where the Haros live. At this point, investigators say there's no connection to the missing child and the location appears to be a coincidence. But CAL FIRE arson investigators are now working the scene.
All right, so people are saying that the fire had nothing to do with the Haros. We don't know. We have no idea. They're going to have to continue their investigation. Maybe information might come out that it does. Maybe it might not. But it's definitely was something that was very interesting, that in this community, with all that's going on, that with all the police out there, reporters out there, all that stuff, like these homeless people didn't see all the reporters and stuff out there on the street, that they would decide to do what they did when they did it. Let's keep going though. This apparently is a video of the funeral, I believe. And the purpose of this is that allegedly it's going to show that she had a black eye back then. You guys watching Be the Judge. We just got some new information. Aki just alerted me. I'm going to go check the email and see what it's about.
I really appreciate you guys. I love each and every one of you. And Charlie loved each and every one of you. I will reach out to everybody and I will announce another celebration of life that we will have for him.
We had so much fun together.
Yeah.
I know.
Where's your baby?
Over there, he's like, I want water. I'm like, okay.
I haven't seen your little boy since November when he was born.
Yeah.
You see that? You heard that though? That's probative. It's just people noticing, hey, where's your baby? I haven't seen your baby since he was born in November. You heard that? That's a relative. Where's your baby? I haven't seen your baby since he was born in November. Wow, let's go back.
Everybody, and I will announce another celebration of life that we will have for him.
We had so much fun together.
Yeah.
I know.
Where's your baby?
Over there, he's like, I want water. I'm like, okay.
I haven't seen your little boy since November when he was born.
Yeah, he's fucking 3. He's gonna be 4. Look at mommy got. No, it was hanging over the chair. Lele will eat a quesadilla. Oh, RJ, say hi.
Hi, honey. I'm your Auntie Becky.
Say hi.
You're so handsome.
You don't have it, brother?
Oh,
We'll find it. RJ.
I don't want to say
He said, no, I'm not saying hi. Yeah, that's RJ.
I'm gonna go inside. I'm burning up.
It was hanging over the chair.
Yeah, it wasn't there when I went back.
Who was sitting in front of us? Mom, maybe. Did you ask Mom?
I asked Mom, she said that you might have grabbed it.
No.
So, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Get you another one. I'll get you one.
Don't worry about it.
Who made those bandanas? That was last week. Thank you. Somebody was playing. Don't lose it. But who made those?
I'm surprised you want.
Really? We should order some more. I want a pink one. Or like a baby blue one. Yeah, I want a baby blue one.
I just buy the bandanas from Indoor Swimming. When she first didn't have her credit.
I want to do that. I want a baby blue one. But I'm going to be wearing this shit to the bars. It'll match.
Watch for the spotting.
Where is it?
Usually, then I got
Thank you.
drink.
Wheel away. I'm not fucking going nowhere.
Get with your
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I really couldn't make out whether she had a black eye. This person's camera was like everywhere. But what stood out to me is the fact that a relative at least is saying, hey, you know, I haven't seen your kid in a long time. All right. So this was sent to us by a viewer, and we do appreciate every tip and every lead that we get. It's very kind of them. I told you guys that he has a history of workers' compensation claims. This is a printout of his workers' compensation claims. I'm not saying what viewer sent it because a lot of people want to remain anonymous. I don't know who wants to remain anonymous, who does not. But certainly this is very interesting. So 11/14 to 2018, Walmart, injury date. Then another one, Las Palmas Estates. That's 10/1/2022. Then he worked for Amazon. That's 2/23/2017. He's constantly filing workers' compensation claims. Blue Triton Brands, 12/5/2022 to 12/7/2024. I mean, I don't even know how that works. That because it says injury date, so I don't know. Like, was the injury sustained over the course of 2 years? I'm not really sure what that means. You know, there's a plausible explanation for it. I just don't know. Same company, 9/21/2024. Walmart again, 11/8/2018. See what these companies got to deal with? These folks that are constantly trying to game the system so that they don't have to work, so they can stay home on their butt and do nothing and collect a check. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's get it back here, and then we'll call it a day. What's the last one I wanted to play for you fine people? Okay, I think it was this one right here. Let's do it.
On the one hand are saying the couple has stopped cooperating. The father's lawyer, on the other hand, says, we're doing everything they asked us to do. In fact, we'll come down tomorrow for questioning if you want us to. How can you have two such diametric opposites?
Yeah, well, I'd like to hear from the sheriff's office, what the nature of that lack of cooperation or non-cooperation is, given the lawyer statement that you just referenced. So I would like to hear from them to say what the father has done that or hasn't done that they want him to do, particularly in light of the lawyer saying he's ready and willing to come down. Now, the mother has refused to take a polygraph, like you said, without her lawyer present. Polygraphs are not given usually with lawyers present. It's a one-on-one type of thing with the polygrapher and the subject. So that's concerning. The father's attorney, I believe, may represent him in his prior conviction. He said, I believe he was out on parole and he may have violated or is accused of violating some of his parole conditions. So, so there's a lot of complications in this, but that was a strong.
So what I don't understand, right, is look, once again, I know people have pride in their community and their state. I'm not coming at California because of like politics. Like New York has its problems too. But these are observations we need to talk about. Like, we can't pretend like this stuff doesn't exist. This guy is on probation/parole for doing the most horrendous thing you could possibly do to a kid. He stole a child's life, pretty much, for the most part. Kid has 3% of their brain function left. Then he gets arrested for drugs, for guns, for resisting arrest, assault on a police officer, all these different things. And then he's still allowed to be out free while he's going through his revocation hearing for parole probation. You got to make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Even if they'd have just put him in jail and had him sitting in jail while his probation hearing was going on, the baby would still be alive right now. If you're on probation parole, why are you getting a bond? Why are you allowed to be out on the street when we're letting you out on the street from our goodwill? Because of our shared good humanity, we've allowed you to do your time on the street. That's what probation and parole means, guys. It means that you have jail time. You've been assigned jail time, but instead will allow you to do that jail time free on the streets. But you're still government property. You're government property. So if you now violate the terms of those probations or parole that you've been given to allow you to do your time on the street, you should be sent back to jail. Now, I do believe you should get your due process because maybe you got falsely arrested or something like that. I don't know. I guess for like minor stuff, maybe we should say, okay, well, you broke your curfew or you didn't come home in time or whatever. I get that. Let's not send you back to jail for that. I'm not some hardliner. But if you got arrested for having illegal guns and you got arrested for selling drugs, possessing drugs, fentanyl, if you get arrested for resisting arrest on a cop, why are you on the streets? It doesn't make any sense to me. If they'd have just punished him for what he's doing wrong, baby Haro will still be alive right now. Let's go to the comment section real quick, man. Wow. $5 super chat from Pauline says, "Come on, guys, put your DNA on the like button. Love from the UK." Thank you so much from the UK. Appreciate you. Chris, what's the name here? Thing is YouTube cuts off the name, so I can't read them all. It's like I only get a small piece of the name. But big shout out to Chris Dawson, I think it is. With a 499 super chat says, "Take a look at Down the Rabbit Hole News, got camera footage of the car part." Okay, we'll take a look at that. I don't have time for this live, but I will definitely take a look and maybe we'll present it to you guys on another show. Jay McKazy with a 199 super chat says, "Thank you for covering this strategic." You're welcome, and thank you for watching. Plain Jane is now a White Shield member. Thank you and welcome, Plain Jane. We appreciate you. FU554 with a 1 super chat. Thank you so much. And Fu554 says, thank you for the pursuit of justice for baby E. Thank you for watching and for pursuing justice as well. Lasagna Lemonade with a $2 super chat says, stay strategic. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you so much, Lasagna. And Chris Down with another $5 super chat says, down the rabbit hole news has it, no music blown up. Got you. It's too late now. But definitely we do appreciate you, and I'm sorry that I didn't catch that in time. We do appreciate you. And we'll definitely check out Down a Rabbit Hole. We have no problem showcasing other creators' work and giving them the credit that they deserve. We are honorable on this channel. If we play anything that belongs to anybody else, we always shout them out. We always give them their love because we want people to do the same thing for us in return. And Breezy Maydell upgraded her membership to Patrol. Thank you and welcome to the Patrol section. We will be doing a members only live soon. So look out for that, guys. We do appreciate all of your support. All right, let's keep going.
That nonprofit just gave, saying, come forward and you'll get all the support. Now, if they don't come forward, given that strong statement of support, you have to start to wonder.
Well, it was a couched strong statement of support, Bobby. They said, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt after saying yesterday, sorry, we're out. You guys, this is a problem with the parents here. There are a lot of holes in their account.
And listen, hold on here, because I just want to make this clear on my position. Moxie Mama Bear says California, I think she had a typo real quick. I think she says, is the country's scapegoat. It's happening all over the country, folks. We're not picking on California. I'm in New York, and New York has its own problems. New York is not the bastion of the way criminal justice is supposed to be done. Not at all. But Baby Haro lives in California. And we're talking about Baby Haro. And if we don't point out the things that could have been done better in California involving Baby Haro, nothing changes. It's a straw man argument when somebody points out something that's done wrong in a specific place, and then somebody says, well, we're not the only ones that's doing it. Well, I get it. I get it. If I go to my kids and I say, hey, listen, you did something wrong, and they say, well, I'm not the only kid that's made this mistake. Straw man argument, all right? I'm addressing this particular case at this particular time, and we have to talk about it. It doesn't mean that California is the worst in the nation. Never said that. Never once said that out of my mouth. It doesn't mean that California is a bad place to live. Never said that. Never said that California has bad politics. We don't talk about politics here. We're talking about Baby Haro, Emmanuel Haro, who was clearly failed by the system. And as Americans, we want everybody to be happy, everybody to be safe, everybody to live, and everybody to have prosperity. And we're talking about what happened in this particular place so that it could be changed, so that we don't have another Emmanuel Haro tragedy. It's okay to talk about California now, but it is correct in saying that we could go other places in this country and find similar issues. But right now we're talking about justice for Emmanuel Haro. Let's keep going.
Now saying, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you come forward and start to participate in the search, if you come forward and give clear evidence that you're cooperating with police.
Yeah, it's almost like a proffer agreement that a prosecutor's office would give to somebody under suspicion, like come in and we used to call it a Queen for a Day letter and just give us everything you know and then we'll move forward with from there. That's kind of, you're right. I mean, it's kind of couched in those terms, but given the initial reticence of cooperation or cooperation and a pullback and then cooperation again, they want to make sure that they don't have their nonprofit kind of, assisting a case where, the parents may be, at fault here.
Yeah, Lauren, what do you make of this tip that came from Kern County, 3.5 hours away, that somebody may have spotted the baby? First of all, it's very hard to spot a baby. They're usually being held by somebody.
Or covered up
he's
inside of
7 months old.
Yeah, inside of
how seriously did the sheriff's department think there was anything to this?
I think that the sheriff's department definitely thought there was something to this, and maybe there still is. Their statement tonight was very vague, saying we know about this sighting, acknowledging to the public, look, we're following, and simply saying, they didn't say it didn't end up in a dead end. They simply said, right now we have not located Emmanuel Haro. Definitely leaving it open-ended and making all of us continue to wonder. I think they're absolutely taking every tip very seriously that's coming in. And I think responding to that tip today also lets us know that they are serious about this tip, despite us not knowing if it led anywhere or not. Right now, Emmanuel has not been located.
Right, so I want to play this so you guys could get that update right there. We are running crazy on time. I have to definitely go to work. I mean, well, not go to work right now, but get ready to go to work. Gotta get my suit ready, all that good stuff. So big shout out to Matt of Opinion, the $5 super chat. He says, didn't I tell you your channel was gonna do big things? You made it, brother. Thank you so much. Well, I ain't make it yet, man. I'm a small YouTuber, man. We're not at 100,000. 100,000 mean you're doing okay on YouTube, okay? And right now we're a tiny channel, so we're trying to grow, man. But thank you so much. Matt Opinion does a really good channel. We collaborated so many times in the past. We will collaborate in the future. We just got to find that right story. We're going to do that. He's a really great guy, both on YouTube and off YouTube. He's a good guy, really nice guy. And so you should definitely go check out his channel. Once again, I've collaborated with this guy before. I can vouch for him that he's a nice guy, man. And he does true crime, does a little bit of everything, but he also does true crime. So go check out his channel, man. Matt Opinion, man. Big shout out to Matt Opinion. Let's give him a big yay. Because true crime, I can't even say my own name. True crime is strategic. Never forgets the people who showed love to him when he was nothing. And I'm still nothing. Well, nothing to YouTube, but I'm somebody to my family. We never forget those folks. One of my first collaborations, you want to know who my first collaboration was with? My very, very, very first collaboration on YouTube. Somebody in chat tell me who my very first collaboration on YouTube was with. If you could tell me, you'll get a free gift membership to the Patreon. Let's see. Let's keep going.
He's not. And in the meantime, there are plenty of disturbing signs. Police have searched the house. Police have confiscated the father's car. They've confiscated all electronic devices belonging to both parents, who apparently have supplied voluntarily the passwords to those devices. They were searching the property of the home with cadaver dogs, which is never a good sign.
No, never a good sign. And not only that, but
my first collaboration was the Pascal show. And I always have a soft spot in my heart for Pascal because, once again, I don't forget when people do nice things. Pascal, his show is even bigger now, but he had a very large show at that time. And here's I am with maybe 500 subscribers or something. And this guy let me on his show and we talked about, true crime, which was pretty awesome. So, that was my very first collaboration, and I'll never forget it. And I'll always be grateful to the Pascal Show for letting me on his platform and showing me love. A small-time YouTuber with less than 1,000 subscribers. Definitely a testimony to this guy's character. Yeah, I don't know him personally, but I know that when I was less than 1,000 subscribers, this guy was very kind to me. So I'll never forget that. Let's keep going, and we'll call it a day.
Attorney is saying, or what Jake Haro's attorney is saying, detectives are making it clear they aren't helping right now. That's exactly how I took that in this statement tonight.
All right. Bobby Chacon, Laura Mathias, thank you both so much. Such a disturbing story, deeply troubling on so many levels. Appreciate it. Your insight.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
All right, no problem. All right, man, you guys are awesome. We do appreciate you guys immensely. There's a few other things I wanted to cover, but I don't have time. So we'll cover it on the next show that we do. We're definitely going to drop probably 2 shows on Saturday on my day off. I'm off Friday and Saturdays, but Friday I'm going to do some voluntary overtime. So I probably won't be, I'll probably do a morning show on Friday, but Saturday we're going to drop 2 shows for you. So look out for that. We're trying our best to get to 100,000 subscribers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Look at this guy. Hold on, I'm sorry, I got an alarm going off on my phone. Oh my gosh. We got Pascal in the chat, man. Yo, what's up, man? Appreciate you. He says, the Pascal Show. What's up, fam? All love, bro. I appreciate your hard work. Keep winning, my brother, man. Thank you. He's a good guy, man. Really good guy. Go check out his show, man. Always entertaining. Funny guy. Very knowledgeable guy. Great presenter. This guy is an amazing presenter. I don't know if he's still doing it, but funny story. I saw on his bio a while back. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he also does side work as a master of ceremony. He was like doing weddings. And I was saying to myself, like, man, I wish I had a Pascal at a wedding, at my wedding or something like that. Because he's like such a funny guy, such an entertaining guy. But he's doing amazing work on true crime. And like I said, I never forget people who do nice things for me. And Pascal shared his platform with me when I was literal nobody on YouTube. I'm still a nobody, but when I was literally a nobody on YouTube, and I got a lot of subscribers from him that came to my show and showed my show some love. And so we thank Pascal and we appreciate you. And definitely go check out his channel. Go check out his channel. He's a good guy, really good guy, very entertaining, very informative. All right. All right. So I got to wrap it up, man. But thank you for showing love, Pascal, and dropping in here, man. That definitely hit me right here in the heart, bro. I'm a very emotional guy on the low. I just like nice people, and I like when nice people do nice things. When it comes to the bad guys, I'm a different type of guy, okay? But when it comes to nice things, I like that, man. It hits me in the heart. But anyway, I got to go. I got to get changed. I got to get to work. Guys, you guys are amazing. Look out for those new shows we're going to be dropping. Big shout out to everybody who showed that love. Pascal and Matter of Opinion. Go check them out. Guys, we do have a membership. Consider joining our membership if you want exclusive shows and content from True Crime Strategic. We also have a Patreon, which is a much more personal look of True Crime with Strategic. We are going to be dropping some more stuff on that. I've been tied up with this show and really busy with work, but please go check it out. We drop stuff on that stuff as much as we can, and it's definitely worth the money. And everything that we do on True Crime with Strategic is affordable. The lowest level of membership on our show is 99 cents. You really can't find that anywhere else on YouTube. On our Patreon, the lowest membership is $5. Once again, you really can't find that much on Patreon. Everything we do is affordable because we want you to experience this greater experience of True Crime Strategic. Lastly, guys, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. We're trying our best. We're a tiny, growing YouTube channel. We're trying to get up there so we can reach a wider audience. All we ask is that you hit that like button. You subscribe to the channel, and if you have the time, if you can, put something in the chat, whether it's a thumbs up, a smiley face, say hi, say where you're calling from. Hey, I'm calling from Glasgow, UK. Hey, I'm calling from Arizona. Hey, I'm calling from Sydney, Australia. Whatever. Whatever it is, it's engagement. And it tells the algorithm that you like the show and that you want the algorithm to share this show with a wider audience. It's not a human being doing it. It's a computer. And that computer is looking at certain metrics to decide what to do with this show. So please do help us get into that algorithm and get exposed to a wider audience. Lastly, big shout out to the graphics designer who sent me this background. I think it's awesome. What do you guys think about this background? It's freaking awesome. So we're going to be using this background. We're going to be using other backgrounds as well, but this is one of the backgrounds we're going to be using moving forward. This was a gift from a graphic designer, and we do appreciate her doing this and sending this to us for free. I didn't ask for it. I just looked at my emails like, hey, I wanted to gift this to you. I'm a graphic designer, and I think this would be cool. And guess what? It is cool, and we do appreciate it. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Let's get that outro ready. Strategic is out of here. Peace.